And followed that up by leading Oklahoma State to its best year in 2 decades. Mike Gundy in studio next.
It's right here. It's easy. It's the money you could be saving with Geico.
Who's watching?
It's right here. It's easy. It's the money you could be saving with Geico.
This is Titan 1-4. No signs of life.
Here on SportsCenter, highlights across the sporting world.
Robert, let's start in the backyard with wiffle ball. The dad brings the heat, but the kid had a heater. Knocks the stuffing out of it, and he takes a digger.
He doesn't touch first, but that's okay. To the driveway. Big game of horse. Devastating if it goes. Oh, but she's off the mark.
That's going to haunt her. Now let's go to backyard soccer. He who hesitates is lost. Except this guy, that's a goal.
No.
This is once-in-a-lifetime stuff here.
The best highlights happen at home.
Take time to be a dad today.
I feel some pressure.
If you want to go after an athlete, one of my athletes, you go after one that doesn't do the right things. You don't downgrade him because he does everything right and may not play as well on Saturday, and you let us make that decision. That's why I don't read the newspaper, because it's garbage, and the editor that let it come out is garbage. Attacking an amateur athlete for doing everything right. Where are we at in society today? Come after me. I'm a man. I'm 40. I'm not a kid. Write something about me. Who's the kid here? Are you kidding me? That's all I got to say. Makes me want to puke.
Boy, you seem so much calmer now. I had a kid, Mike Gundy from Oklahoma State, and you just said while we were watching that you've never watched the entire thing.
I really never have, and I tell you the funny thing about that is I have 3 sons, and my middle one has gotten really good at mimicking. I saw him at baseball practice like a month ago, and he was out there doing it, and I asked him about him, but I've never really watched it. But boy, something really took off, and people have had a lot of fun with it, but it's kind of been gone now.
What was the fallout from that in the days after that?
Well, really, for me, not a lot, because we were still in the season, and I was busy with football and the players and everything. But our director of media, Kevin Clintworth, boy, he had to deal with it for a long time, and he was one to let me know. It's been like 6 million hits on the internet on it, so it was really interesting how it all just kind of snowballed. But it's been tremendous for him. I would not ever change. I would do it again if I had to. Not that it was premeditated. But for any young man that I felt like needed support, I would do it again. But it's been tremendous for us in recruiting. Just accidentally, people recognize the face and then feel like you're going to go to bat for their son if he's playing at your university and for your team. So in hindsight, it's worked out good for us because it's helped us in recruiting.
Now, for people who don't remember the story, you were sticking up for your quarterback, Bobby Reed, who had taken some criticism in a newspaper column. And Bobby Reed has since left the school. What happened to him? How did that whole thing impact him?
Well, he transferred to a smaller school in Texas, and but he graduated from Oklahoma State. He's got a degree. Went and played another year. He actually hurt his knee, and I hated to see that happen. Sometimes in college football, players, it doesn't work out for them. We don't know why that happens, but he's transferred, but has a college degree and has moved on.
Now, you followed up. I don't know if you want to call it a controversy or what do you call it? What would you call that whole moment in time?
Well, I don't know. It's kind of known as the rant, The
rant, yeah.
It's been very interesting. It's been called a lot of things over the last few years.
But the thing is, you followed that up. That was in 2007. You followed that up in 2008 with Oklahoma State's best year in over 2 decades. What was 2008 like for you? What was it about your team that you really liked?
We had great team chemistry. Players that really care about each other. The coaches, the players had a good relationship, and we were having fun. We had guys that could make a play. And it was interesting, in the middle of the season, the biggest win for us, when we went on the road and beat Missouri, our defense rose to the occasion. And there was so much talk about our offense all year. But the team played well together, and the coaches were committed. Everybody was on the same page. And when you have really good team chemistry, it gives you a great chance to have success.
And that Big 12 South was brutal last year with Oklahoma and Texas Tech, and you hung right in there with those guys. You talked about your offense, and you do have a lot of playmakers. You got the 3 guys, Zach Robinson, Des Bryant, Kendall Hunter. What is it like knowing you're going to have those guys back this season?
Well, it certainly makes it easier to call plays. When you have,
Are you still calling the plays?
yeah, we're going to do it again.
All right.
I had a lot of fun with it. I really enjoy the player-coach relationship, that part of it. But when you have guys that can make plays like that, and our left tackle is probably going to be a top 10 pick. Russell Coons has got a chance to be a really, really good player for a long time, and we just got a number of guys that have a chance to make plays for us, so it makes it much easier on the offensive side of the ball.
There are big-name players everywhere you look in the Big 12 South. You got Colt McCoy, you got Sam Bradford. How does that conference shape up this season?
Well, obviously, we think it's a tremendous conference, and it's a lot of fun to play in. You can't take a week off in our league, and it's been an unusual run for the last 2 or 3 years from the quarterback standpoint. I mean, you're talking about having a number of guys on the same list for national awards at the same position. It's very unique, but they're all deserving, all good players, and seem to be all quality people.
Of course, the final game of the year, as always, against those Sooners coming up at the end of the season. Recruiting so tough for you, Mike. What is it? I mean, you got all the Texas schools, you got Oklahoma. What is it like when you go into a recruit's living room and you push Oklahoma State? What's your pitch?
Well, it's changed dramatically just recently. We moved into a brand new football facility that's is arguably as good as there is in the country. It's been tremendous.
T. Boone Pickens helping you out there a little bit?
T. Boone Pickens helped a lot. Everybody's followed his lead. He's been tremendous for us, but we just moved in a week ago, and it's state of the art, so that helps. Winning, being in bowls year in and year out, having marquee players. But I think what sold Oklahoma State more than anything is when they come to Oklahoma State, they come to Stillwater, they get a feel for the people and who we are. They like it there. They're comfortable. They know they come there to get an education and play top-notch football.
You've been there for a while. Before you're the head coach, of course, if people don't know, Mike Gundy was the Oklahoma State quarterback a few years back. And one of your running backs was a guy named Thurman Thomas, who just went into the College Football Hall of Fame, as you know, this weekend. What was it about Thurman Thomas that was special?
Thurman was a warrior. He was durable. He was competitive. He loved to play the game. Very intelligent, great hands. Played maybe 12 years or so in the NFL. I may be off a little bit there, but just would compete in practice just like you would in a game. And I was just fortunate enough to play with a guy like that. And I look back and think how lucky I was to be on the field with a guy that's a NFL and a college football Hall of Famer.
Yeah, very nicely done. Nicely done out of yourself. You got a contract extension through the year 2015. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Did you sign that yet?
I did sign it.
All right, we got that
something was
signed.
talked about a long time ago, but we got it signed. But Oklahoma State's where we want to be, my family and I, and so we're thrilled.
Nice to have some job security, Mike. Very
It is nice to have that, but very thankful that we do have it.
We'll be watching you guys this coming year. Oklahoma State head football coach Mike Gundy joining us here on ESPN News. Thank you, Mike.
You.
All right. Still to come.